So you found yourself playing Overwatch on attack, and you have chosen to play the game this time as Widowmaker. You are probably now finding yourself a subject of verbal abuse from your teammates who are saying you are picking a troll character, as she has no place on attack because you cannot push the cart or contribute to the fight. I am here to tell you that that is absolute garbage. While what these naysayers say is true, that Widowmaker isn't exactly great for pushing a cart, what she does provide to your team is a great way to clear out any threats and high priority targets from your team so that your teammates can move forward and push that cart and hold objectives for you while you protect them from afar. Widowmaker brings a great amount of firepower and range to a fight that you will need in order to take out the Bastions and Torbjorns who have decided to just set up shop somewhere on the map, normally near the point, that are creating a complete massacre for any of your teammates who try to just step forward. You, using your range, can safely stay in the back and pick off these targets quickly before the enemy spots you so that your team can advance. Your goal when you're playing Widowmaker on attack is not to be the one sitting on top of the card or even next to it in order to keep it moving. Your goal is to clear the path for those people so that they have safe passage. Your range is your greatest asset here, as you can safely sit atop buildings or just sit way in the back and pick off anybody who tries to stop your teammates. Another absolutely fantastic part about this whole thing of being in the back and not really near your team is that if the enemy starts an ult, especially one that has some kind of large channel or has a long startup such as Pharah or McCree, you can easily take them out before they're able to really do a whole lot of damage. The moment you hear Justice range from above, you start looking around for where the Pharah is. She's going to be stationary, so it's very easy to just quickly turn and get a headshot on her before she completely decimates the rest of your team. If you hear that it's high noon, it's time for you to make it about 2:30 by finding him and taking him out before he's able to wipe your entire team. You being so far back means that these people normally aren't looking for you. They're looking for the ones pushing the cart on the ground, taking out their team. You are given the opportunity to save your team from these ults, wiping them out, in order to keep the progress going. Like I said earlier, when it comes to pushing the cart, that is not where Widowmaker excels when it comes to attack. She doesn't have a great health pool and doesn't have any defensive options other than grapple hooking out of a situation. So she's not someone you really want sitting on the cart. She'll just get picked off real quick and you will just find yourself back at the respawn. What you can do for your team in terms of pushing the cart is if you're near a point where you need to force an overtime in order for your team to, get back into the fight, you can easily grappling hook to the point, and normally that'll buy enough time for your team to come back or trigger the overtime to increase the length of the match. This could make or break the game and could secure victory if you're able to just stay alive long enough to trigger that timer and allow your team to re-enter the fight. While Widowmaker on attack does bring a lot to the table, there are a couple things you need to be aware of and keep in mind as you play it. First, if you're not a good sniper, just don't play it. Don't try and force something you're not good at. You're not going to be helping your team, you're just going to be dead weight. Second, if you're getting focused down, if you're just not landing shots, switch characters. Something that people grossly undervalue is what you can gain by switching characters. If you're not doing well, or if your team isn't succeeding, maybe you need to switch to something else. Like we've said before, Widowmaker is not great at pushing the cart, and if you have a lot of people who are assassinating or just killing the enemy team but they're not on the cart, you're not going to win in the end. Finally, and this goes for sniping and any FPS, don't always go to the same tired spots. People will be looking at the high windows and edges of buildings because they know that's where you're going to want to be. That's where you have the best vantage points, that's where you can line up the easiest shots, so people are going to be looking for you. Mix it up. Stay on the ground sometimes. Go somewhere where you might not have the best line of sight, but people don't expect you there, so you might still be able to get a couple people. The good spots are still good because you can normally get a couple people, but they will be looking for you there and could take you out the moment you get there. It is my hope that you guys are able to take what I've said in this video and from your own experience and go forward and see that Widowmaker on attack does have a very good and very strong place in Overwatch and is something that can be a great benefit to your team. With enough practice and a good amount of skill, you will find yourself greatly helping your team, increasing your elimination count, and overall just having more fun as you continue to just provide more benefit to your team. And with that, I wish you guys the best of luck on the battlefield and hope that you can take the tips explained here and find yourself on victory screen playing as Widowmaker and having a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can check me out on Twitch to see more, and have a wonderful day.